Most people believe that the word budget means scrimping and saving money, yet nothing could be farther from the truth. A budget is the cornerstone of a strong financial foundation and may assist you in developing a more optimistic outlook on money. Making this budget has many of the same disadvantages as dieting and leading a healthy lifestyle. The majority of us try to make wise choices, yet errors are all too common. Anything fried, late-night snacks and donuts may all be quite alluring. The urge to have total control over our available funds might be just as risky. One of the many reasons you need a budget is because, unfortunately, using this strategy frequently leaves us poor, overworked, and full of regrets. On the other hand, creating a budget is simple if you know how to do it. We'll therefore be sharing some information with you in this video so that you may ultimately develop and adhere to that budget. Before we get started, if all of this interests you and you're eager to learn more, please do me a favor by hitting the like button for that YouTube algorithm and subscribing right now if you haven't already. Let's get going. 1. Do not engage in activities where you know you will spend money. It's time to adhere to your spending plan, now that you've made one. And we are aware of how difficult a process this generally is. The self-control you'll need to develop to pull this off may seem overwhelming, but you have our support. In the end, we can't do anything for you, but with these suggestions, we can be the angel on your shoulder. Avoid situations like going out to eat with friends or getting pedicures when you know you'll spend money. Find ways to do the cooking and nail painting yourself instead. One of the best ways to stay on a budget is to pay others to accomplish tasks you can complete on your own, at least until you have enough money to hire others to complete those tasks. Another choice is to skip one or a few days each month where you don't spend a dollar and instead prepare meals at home or engage in cost-free activities. You might be shocked at how much money you save and how many small, apparently unimportant transactions build up over the course of a month. If you can avoid making purchases on particular days, monitor your spending sometimes, or whenever you feel like it to evaluate how well you're doing. And if you need to change your budget, make sure your goals are very specific. But keep in mind that being overly rigorous might have the opposite effect and encourage impulsive buying. 2. Create an emergency plan. Unexpected costs can easily spiral into a massive financial load, shattering even the best-laid budgets. After all, they do claim that it just takes one sickness to wipe out all of your money. Therefore, if you don't have enough cash on hand to cover these fees right away, you will have to borrow money or charge them to a credit card, which will result in you paying interest on top of the costs. Every budget should have a separate category for emergency funds that are separate from regular savings objectives. Only use your nest egg in the event of a genuine emergency, such as an unanticipated job loss, a serious illness, or a costly house or car repair. Instead of just another savings account, think of your emergency fund as a tool to support your overall spending plan. It will not only make it easier for you to handle challenging circumstances, but it will also make you feel less stressed and give you peace of mind. 3. Never evaluate yourself against others. Additionally, you've probably heard this a lot more times than you can stand. But creating a production budget is a highly individual task. It fits your particular demands and interests. So, as an illustration, a budget you may have seen online or in a book on personal finance is not a long-term fix. Your budgeting categories may be influenced by your place of residence, your place of employment, your mode of transportation, your leisure activities, and your personal objectives. Finding a budget that works for you may need some trial and error, and the finished product will be unlike any other budget you have seen. Recognize that each person has unique goals and that no two budgets are the same. 4. If you don't succeed right away, don't give up. Understanding the basics of budgeting also involves experimenting with several approaches until you find one that works. Don't give up if your initial budget doesn't enable you to reduce your spending or save more money. Find out what went wrong precisely and try again. If you don't succeed this month, try again next month. Don't wait any longer to learn the basics of budgeting too. You should have a budget for a number of reasons, and this won't alter anytime soon. Go in with both feet. The more challenging it will be to organize your funds, the longer you wait. If you're experiencing problems with this procedure, don't give up. In order to create a budget that will serve your needs in the long run, you need to be patient, persistent, and patient. Even if you don't succeed, maybe these tips on the basics of budgeting and why you need one can help things go more easily. Continue trying is one of the most important budgeting ideas. 5. Start saving for emergencies. Even though you might not initially have much spare money, creating a sufficient emergency fund will help you achieve your budgeting goals in the long term. Sell your stuff, work an extra shift, or find another way to scrape together $1,000 for an emergency fund as quickly as you can. The $1,000 will act as an emergency cash reserve to protect you from unanticipated financial occurrences. Although it might not be enough to deal with the majority of full-fledged crises, it is a good place to start. With 3 to 6 months' worth of expenses set aside, you may gradually work toward building a larger emergency fund. When you encounter an unforeseen expenditure, such as a home repair or medical bill, it will be easier to stick to your budget if you have an emergency fund. You'll have separate money set aside for this purpose so that you won't blow your budget trying to meet these costs. 6. Know yourself. Do you know how people always tell you to get to know yourself well? That doesn't only hold true for your spiritual development. Making a plan to overcome your bad habits after learning about yourself and them does assist with budgeting. To avoid temptation, move the majority of your savings to a bank other than your checking account, where it will be out of sight and out of mind if you know you'll be tempted to tap into savings to pay for COVID non-essentials in the middle of the month. Acknowledging your financial strengths and shortcomings is one of the foundational elements of budgeting. Avoid them all totally if you have a tendency to lose money there. We are aware of their potential for flair and allure. If you frequently feel the desire to dine out, stock up on ingredients to make cooking at home more likely. It could be easier for you to follow the rules of budgeting if you are aware of your weaknesses. 7. Set financial objectives and build a budget around them. Establish some financial objectives for yourself and use your spending plan to help you meet them. A sound budget will help you reach your goals, whether they are to pay off student loans, purchase a home, or prepare for retirement. A budget can be used by those who want to keep themselves accountable while working toward a particular financial objective. In order to stay on track with your financial objectives, we at North Star recommend using a flexible payment mechanism. With the help of this service, you are able to stretch the cost of purchases made at places like Target and Walmart without having to pay late penalties. Making a budget can enable you to identify your spending patterns, both good and bad, allowing you to cut out any unneeded costs and have a clear understanding of your financial condition. Knowing your financial situation better can also help you prepare for any unforeseen expenses or losses. Don't be afraid to try out various budgets until you find the mix of strategies that work best for you. Your budget only needs to be reasonable for you. It doesn't need to be perfect. 8. Savings are an expense too. If budgeting categories were a high school gym class, savings would be chosen last. In many budgets, the savings category receives any remaining funds after the more important, and in most situations, the less urgent costs have been paid. The only way to take it seriously is to give your savings the same importance as your daily expenses. Your savings will grow significantly faster if you set aside a fixed amount at the beginning of each month, and you won't be able to mistakenly spend money on other things. And we are aware that saving money, if we even remember to do it, might be challenging. Savings automation is a quick way to manage your finances. Set up automatic payments from your checking account to your savings account to start your emergency fund. Open an individual retirement account and then set up automatic payments every payday to begin accumulating your nest egg. Automatic payments can also be made to a 529 college savings account to pay for your child's education. Compound interest may help your money grow steadily over time, and automating payments into multiple accounts can help you save rather than spend. 9. Track your money. The second component of the budgeting strategy involves totaling up all of your monthly expenses. Start with regular and predictable payments, such as your mortgage or rent, vehicle loans, insurance, debt, and taxes. Most of them will be rather consistent, so you won't be able to merely change the balance due each month. And doing this is advantageous, since it makes budgeting simpler when expenses don't vary much. Once finished, after you've outlined your set monthly expenses, it's time to dig deeper to find out where the remainder of your money goes. Take out your checkbook or most current bank statement to help you with this stage. Make a note of all of your monthly costs, including those for groceries, entertainment, utilities, and subscriptions. A monthly budget worksheet can help you keep track of your spending. Another option to keep track of your spending is to link your bank account or credit cards to a budgeting application. The software will automatically record withdrawals from your bank account or cash transactions that you manually enter. The software allows you to create a budget and establish savings goals. You must reduce your expenditure and stop making unneeded purchases in order for the numbers to add up. Typically, this section isn't as entertaining. 10. Creating a budget. You must first figure out the major pieces of the puzzle, which are your cash inflow and outflow. Before you can establish a budget, you can use pen and paper, a computer and spreadsheet, or an app and tech. We need this information because you can't plan if you don't know what you're doing each month. You must know exactly how much money comes in and how much money goes out. It's much easier to build an action plan once you have those figures. You may keep track of your expenses without having to maintain many categories by using a straightforward budgeting method like the 53,020 budget. Spending should be divided into 3 groups: 20% for savings or debt repayment, 30% for a special occasion, and 50% for essentials. The percentages may always be changed to meet your needs. Make your spending plan work for you. To manage your spending and budget even easier, you may also utilize a budget app. But what if you work for yourself or run your own company and don't always get paid once a week or twice a week? In such instances, you'll need to use the law of averages to determine your revenue. Determine your prior year's earnings monthly average. This will give you a place to start when creating your budget. Well, I want to thank every one of you for watching the video. I hope you liked it and learned something from it. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and please subscribe for more videos like this. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a wonderful day.